Hello everyone, and what is going on? Hyperion-Blue-GT here. Fourth week of August has arrived for today's weekly challenge on Gran Turismo 7. The third round of All Japan GT Car Championship at Autopolis International Racing Course is about to be ready to go for a limited time only by a single week, along with 4 events will be able to participate at Tokyo Expressway east clockwise for the Japanese 4-wheel drive challenge 600 in race number 1, plus for race number 2 in high-speed ring reverse in American Clubman Cup 700, along with race number 3 at Porsche Cup at the Nürburgring Nordschleife. And plus, race number 4 is now being going on Hypercar Parade at Le Mans, as we're about to be set and go with 4 kinds of road car, or just have to go additional to have the 5th one we'll be using with Group 3 cars or any kinds of specific racing vehicles to be entered for the 3rd special event on the All Japan GT Car Championship. But one thing to have some 3 prizes will be featured for this week to have some 3 kinds of credit ticket to go for a grand total of 800,000 with 500,000 in 5 events, 200,000 in 3 events, and 100,000 GT credit in compete by 1 event. Better get ready, you guys. We got 4 events plus the 3rd round of All Japan GT Car Championship at Autopolis. We'll be ready up and get yourself prepared for one thrill of nostalgia competition to go with real car of a Coslivery of a GT500 style racing, just like having a different role of cosplay. As always, if you're new to my YouTube channel, be sure click the subscribe button, then leave a like and comment at the section down below. Check out the links on the description if you want to see more. Don't forget to click the bell for notification on upcoming content videos in the later future. Let's get ready to go and start for today's weekly challenge. So I just come up to have a better idea before the start of the race. We'll have to take 2 rounds on Europe and 3 races in Japan will go separation for only one part of the week. So it'll have to take some preparation to choose any kinds of specific road car to be putting up with some livery to be outfitted with GT500 spec version from the 1990s in Japan Grand Touring Car Championship. But filling out with the names to have a base up with some livery design made by other Gran Turismo players for this part of the segment. So I'll have to be choosing and participate in Porsche Cup on race 1 at Nürburgring Nordschleife by using the 911 Carrera RS Type 993 1995 was created by King Kiro. But very good kind of a livery design variation is quite good to be well based up to be participate in Japan Grand Touring Car Championship. But the settings is now being eligibility to go by under 650 to be checked, and adding up with the racing hard compound tires will be set on racing spec style. But tuning requirement just had to do some output adjustment on the ECU. We'll be putting up on 96% and 70% on power restrictor. But if possible, just have to purchase on weight adjustment and ballast to choose the number of kg and positioning in case if you really might need to have some BOP regulation to be checked and good to go. So, first up, having one location in Europe to have one best time in Germany to take on in the Green Hill by having a single road car to be cosplaying as a GT500 spec version. It's all about all kinds of best race cars to have some well based on road going version as well. Can I say, this will be doing a very good excellent GT500 spec challenge. We'll have to go by 4 events specifically to be going on road car only, and 1 special event we'll be using on any kinds of available type of road car and race car alike. But almost forgot one thing to keep that in reminder. Just purchase on 2 racing ring tires, or just have to grab on sports compound tires to go fitted and well purchase. Calculate performance check and keep a good exactly reminder on the rain surveillance to be on the lookout. Okay, there's no sign of rain, and there it is. That could be quite possible if I had to be well avoidable to keep a good exact caution. So I'll have to be preferred to use racing intermediate tires to go in case. Update on the performance to go calculate and station on 636.95. Then let's get going. We got a time weather condition, might have to be on the lookout in case of rain might be coming in. And there it is right now. Let's do the countdown in 3 seconds and go green to have the first turn at the 13. Let's master the green hell to have a weather forecast in the chance of rain. So I have a good eye on Jay Kortig in 15th position on the Porsche 911 Carrera RS Type 993. Orange style, go on the overtake and let the GT500 spec livery is going to have to take a good skill of racing to be dominate in the green hell. Got a good eye on Jose Serrano in the 14th position in the Porsche Carrera GTS Type 904. Good opening, and here it goes. Windshield wipers turn on and have a percentage in wet surface. Might have to keep a good monitor before approaches on the airfield. Alright, that's the ticket. Go and proceed and overtake the 911 Turbo Type 930. But don't worry, the music will turn on. We'll have to get my time to calm down and just have to keep a good smooth sailing to be mastered on the asphalt. Okay, here it goes. Got to slow down and have the racing intermediate tires. We'll have to keep it settled on maintain the grip. Okay, there's Heinrich on position 12, followed by Edgar. Good clear pace. Solid fine work to have a nice Porsche 911 Carrera RS Type 993 as original, along with the Club Sport version. But difference is to see the same kind of a Type 993 Porsche 911 Carrera RS is suitable to be well specifically to be participate like this one in the GT500 race spec version of the Japan Grand Touring Car Championship back from the 1990s. But it has different style of performance to be fitted and well modified without aspiration type to go with turbocharger or supercharger. Naturally aspirated is the best one ever yet to be drilled, and challenge yourself to be entered for only one special event to be racing at a Topolis International Racing Course. But if possible, just have one available car to be engine swapped to be well fitted to take on with some Group 2 cars like the BMW McLaren F1 GTR race car 1997. So I got the 9th position coming in. Wet surface is being well tested to be contested. Now I'll have to play safety and have the TCS will go into 2. Got a good eye on the 2009 911 GT3 is currently to be well seen on the Type 997. Let's catch up on M. Farber in number 8. Next sector coming in. Rain comes back by pouring. Make a small push. Go all the way in, and gap distance decrease in about 13.9 seconds. The very simple choice of strategy to have different Porsche vehicle, just like the GT500 spec version of the livery, is now suitable to be specifically as a road car. But it has a good spirit potential of a livery to be well fitted to be designed for racing on the track. So I have a good eye on Jonathan Wong in about 1.6 seconds to go in the Porsche Cayman GT4 2016. Let's go up the pace, and it's slowing down quickly. Okay, hold it together. Just wait, and brake zone coming in. Don't want to push myself too much by having too much oversteer. Okay, there we go. Next sector all the way. Alright, now looks like Angel Inestrosa in the Porsche 959 is on board. Got to get in and proceed with overtake as the carousel is about to come right in. Okay, that was a close call. A bit more tricky, and just keep it monitored on the wet surface around in the track. Okay, that's better. Now, gonna have to stay on the line. Work it up, and gap distance going decrease a little bit quicker. Nice and very work. In about 7.3 seconds to go as the next current sector is on the way. Now I'll have to be wait and patient to go overtake on T. Bayless in the 911 Carrera RS Club Sport in the same Type 993. The quicker as it goes, and the much more strategy, we'll have to keep a good suitable differences between the sports tires and racing intermediate tire. Dive down right in. Fifth place rolling in by 4 more to go. Then let's wait for T. Sukulara and slow down to go quicker to be overtaken on the Type 996 911 GT3 2001. And there's Adriano Carrazza as he's about to catch up with a Type 992 911 GT3 RS 2022. Just have to be patient, and looks like Patrick Besson is on the second position as both of them are about to go head-on chase with a Type 992 911 GT3 RS. Okay, gonna have to go proceed with care. Just be patient and let the GT500 spec livery to go one at a time. I'm always well prepared to do this for having a right moment and give it much more exactly to have a competition to go patient. Okay, it's getting closer. Just have to get myself to be well prepared to go full straightaway to catch up with the Type 992 as being reached up on first place. The gloves are coming up. TCS 0, do your thing and help me out. This could get intense, viewers. I really have to go full slipstream to be stay on gear number 5 if I really need to go with nitros will have to be fitted and give it more extra speed. There's gear number 6, almost there, and looks like I just really have to end up on 3rd place. Watch the grip and the brake zone coming in. It's getting a little bit closer to have too much speed to be aborted. Alright, there we go. Now for the Type 992 911 GT3 RS. Come on, make that push. Successful and quickly time of arrival. So there you go, folks. The 911 Carrera RS GT500 takes the win. One excellent race and one heck of a weather condition to go face up in the surface on the asphalt. But thankfully, it takes 8 minutes, 22.492 seconds as I succeeded to be achieved on the faster lap time to go around by having a dominance and conquer the green hell. But another exam to go by one race, we'll have to go proceed forward in race number 2 to be at Le Mans. But clean race bonus has now been saved my best reputation, 78,750 credits. And there's a 6-star roulette ticket on engine category has now acquired, and plus 100,000 Gran Turismo credit has now been received to have one part of the prize, and just have to be patient by 2 more to go to be received on race number 3 will be completed. Now gonna have to go quick capture thumbnail image, and there we go. Well, only one GT500 spec livery is very good to be enjoyable on GT7. Just like Gran Turismo Sport back then, and it still has some good spirit of nostalgia to be coming around as we're about to be heading up to have some best race car to be categorized for the Lamborghini Diablo GT 2000. But not to mention, because that would be a very good choice of recommendable, as I had to be heading up to Le Mans for race number 2. So it's up to Hypercar Parade, 3 laps, and this will have to take a quick detour as I'm about to be using for the Diablo GT500 to be based up as a same kind of a livery back from Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec, and of course Gran Turismo 5 and Gran Turismo 6. But the familiar look when using the Diablo GT500 is created by K1 Sumiway, a very good kind of a livery design to be well outfitted and putting up with some exterior parts to go fitted and equipped to go by racing spec version. But very good, and that would be considered as a 5-star of rating to have this kind of a livery to be based up like the GT500 spec version to be similar as a counterpart. And also for the car settings, is I just spent hours to be putting up with some parts to be fitted and installed to go adding up with some more horsepower to be carried out by 700 HP will go by performance point by the range in 725.76. I got all the parts to be well installed and needed, and also to have some few other engine tuning to be installed with engine balance tuning and 3 stages of weight reduction and increased body rigidity. But it takes preparation, as I had to be well prepared to go challenging up with some hypercars in race number 2, as I had to go racing up on racing soft tires to be extra on notification. So there you go, back to the settings and give it moderate balance to be adding up on racing medium tires. So let's see how a cosplay livery of the GT500 spec of the Lamborghini Diablo will be embraced and go for the glory moment of Le Mans to see how faster can it go to be similar to be based up with some other hypercars. But hopefully, the Bugatti Veyron is about to be serving up as the main opponent along with the Aston Martin Vulcan, and of course the Ferrari FXXK might have to take some eligibility to be joined in to be entered on Hypercar Parade. By having a track day hypercar or any kinds of different liveries to be well fitted and given much more faster to be on the get-go. Time to find out to be ready to go on race number 2 to embrace it and have the Nomad GT500 spec version on the Diablo GT will go on 16th position to go overtake with 15 road cars by Grand Touring and other kinds of hypercars. The first turn coming in, got to go slow down quickly and follow with the Mercedes-AMG GT Black Series on turn 2 and 3 by exiting on the Dunlop chicane. Got to go maintain the pace and stay behind with the Porsche 911 GT3 RS in the Type 992 model. Alright, very good. Just stay behind and master the Nomad GT500 spec livery will be embraced to give a spirit of nostalgia moment. Here comes the Mulsanne straight. Just be patient, wait, and give it more high-speed velocity to be up and over 200 miles per hour. As you can see, viewers, the Nomad themed livery on the Diablo GT has some good roots of heritage, has actually to be putting up to have this real car to become as a fully modified GT500 spec version to this Diablo. Is very good to have an Italian supercar to be designed in Grand Touring Car Championship. But it still has some good heritage to see how the original to be well designed and fitted for competition to be racing around on Japanese racing circuit. But not to mention that I just purchased the second one for the used car dealership as a high expensive vehicle that carries over to be around by over 750,000 credits. But still has good spirit of racing to be drive on anywhere to be well fitted for only one road car by challenging up with some other hypercars. However, the parts might be quite possible to go fitted, designed, and equipped to go for only 3 stages of weight reduction, and other parts to go carry out to have some horsepower will give it a good speed of boost. And there's Autumn to Pipe before dive down on the Mulsanne corner. Slow it down and keep it proceed onward to be on the next turn when you're about to go clear on to sector number 5. So there you go. Got to go clear to maintain pace. Just let one hypercar to go overtake with a single supercar. The Venio has now been dropped down onto the 6th position, and here comes the hypercar double trouble. Porsche 918 Spider has now been slowed down when entering at the Indianapolis corner. Good skill on Coque Lopez, and Adriano Carrazza will have to be wait for a chance. Alright, let's go up and have the 90-degree angle to be cleared to be proceed onto the Porsche curb. Let's catch up to the Aston Martin Vulcan. Good pass. Now gonna have to take a good proceed onto the Corvette curbs. Brake well. Steady directly to try to keep a good maintained position to have some certain parts. If tuning might have to do some options, we'll be doing helpful ways. Nice and very good on the check. Takuma Minosono on the Enzo Ferrari at position number 2. Just have to be patient, and go by doing some exit turns on the Porsche curves to do the Corvette curves, and then the Porsche chicane will do the last. Got a good eye on the Bugatti Veyron 16.4 driven by Giorgio Mangalo on the first. 1 lap down. 2nd lap will be on the way, viewers. This could be a much more thrill of the test to see a GT500 spec livery versus one of the best hypercars in Bugatti's history has actually to do which one is going to do some comparison by the best. By having one real car with installed parts and the other with stock parts to be fitting up to have some better ways to do some matter of drag racing. But the rolling start will have to go by matter of test if I had to go embrace it to do a one-on-one showdown. Time to go back on the Mulsanne straight. Have sector 2 to go rolling in. The Bugatti has now taken the head start, and the Lamborghini will go on a chase. This could get a little bit more twisted of surprises to see how a Bugatti Veyron will actually have to keep a good maintain the pace to catch up with a challenger. But of course it takes a massive horsepower and the top speed will have to keep a good exactly to go by hold down the brake zone when entered on the turn. So I just took the lead, and go building out to have some gap distance will be increased by 2.3 seconds. But it might be quite giving a good excellent thrill of racing spec version to go livery cosplay. But Coslivery might be a different plural name to be well preferred to be as cosplay. So going up by gear number 4, top speed to go average by almost 175 miles per hour to go kick it up on gear number 5. Just watch the sound of the engine before taking the brake zone to be at the Mulsanne corner to be slow in and keep that brake zone to be partially to be hold down the throttle. By the look of the car number, it's actually to be known as the famous number 88 on the Nomad Diablo GT500, but still has some good spirit heritage from the original Diablo GT to be designed in 2000, ever since to be first appeared in Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec as a secret car. But however, it turns out that might be no longer to be part of it throughout every Gran Turismo titles until Gran Turismo 5 and Gran Turismo 6 came in along with other Lamborghini cars. The only kind of a Lamborghini race car to be fitted to become as a standard version, but it would be well preferred to become as a premium car. But it takes a lack of hardware to have some technology to be putting up with some exterior and interior to have the Nomad Diablo GT500 takes a lot of work of development. But still has some good racing heritage in the early 2000s, and I still really think about the Diablo GT to this day. One kind of a road car and the livery has everything to be put out to have some livery design is good to be well designed to be participate in All Japan GT Championship. Got to hold the line. Let's see how Mangalo is doing so far out there to have a gap distance in 10.6 seconds. Okay, here comes the fourth chicane. Make it nice and slow. Final turn to go exit, and rolling in again, we'll have to take the Diablo Nomad GT500 to the final lap. Faster lap time in 3 minutes, 59.909 seconds. Got to work it like a charm and keep a good line check to be stable and clean. Man, that sound of the engine is very good to have a nice V12 engine, or just have to be make it like a V8 engine. Well, I don't know you guys. If the Diablo GT might be quite good to be chosen to be well compatible on engine swap for the future update in the next GT7 update. But word on the street if it's going to be having another track layout for Le Mans. The Bugatti circuit is going to be a very good guess to see what it is. But you know how it turns out to have a Bugatti circuit on other racing games. Well, after all, Le Mans is the only kind of a racetrack that first appeared in Gran Turismo 4 back from 2005. But I can't wait to see how the Bugatti circuit will be yet to be on a full appearance in Gran Turismo 7 by having a full game by a content. But the main guess, just have a dot of predicted for only one update that we have to find out what it is. So here comes onto the top speed of 200 miles per hour on gear number 5. Brake to slow down, steady up, and have the Michelin chicane on number 2. The 15 hypercars won't stand a chance against the GT500 livery of the Diablo GT is good to be thrilled as a variant. Variation does matter to see how this rail car to be well designed to become as a race car cosplay. So steady as it goes. Man, the sunlight is so beautiful out there to enjoy racing. So I got a 20-second gap distance on Beyond. Got to go faster up and embrace it to go for only one matter of a time trial to keep a good roll on challenge. Okay, good clear on Indianapolis. Now take that next turn to go again by proceed to the current sector. 2 more to go. Back on to the Porsche curves. Okay, gonna have to go down on gear 4 when entered by the Porsche curves to go smoothed up on driving freestyle. Then entered again by the Corvette curves. Just have to keep a good will proceed with caution, as I always have to do this done and done. But of course it is. The Diablo GT might need to add a roll bar cage, but it could be incompatible to have this one to be yet featured. Unlike other cars who just don't need to have a roll bar cage. This one is very good to be fortunate to have a nice retro-made supercar and early modern-day century. So the final stretch comes in. Checker flag has now been arrived and finished on first. That's race number 2, check and done, and 3 races for Japan will be going on for having a next procedure to be doing on the main step at Tokyo Expressway for Japanese 4-wheel drive challenge 600. Just to see how other hypercars won't be stand a chance against the Diablo GT with some parts installed and 3 stages of weight reduction. Total time is 11 minutes, 55.359 seconds as I just took my faster lap on number 3 in 3 minutes, 54.821 seconds. Now that's a good race 2 complete on Europe, and that had to take a good succeed earning by 172,500 credit. So that's 16.9 miles of today by having to do a warm-up, and replay we'll have to call out to be exactly to be on the most sane straight. Alright, there it is. Got to go zoom in, capture thumbnail image quickly. Too soon. Now, let's see. Just have to pause right here. And there you go. Looks like a bit less brighter and more shaded. Well, it takes matter of creativity as always. We'll be doing much more it goes. With Nürburgring Nationalbahn in Porsche Cup and Le Mans for Hypercar Parade is now being done and checked by leaving Europe, then let's go for having 3 races in Japan for Tokyo Expressway in Japanese 4-Wheel Drive Challenge 600, followed by as a penultimate in American Clubman Cup 700, and as promised, Round 3 of All Japan GT Car Championship at Autopolis International Racing Course will be set and go for only one best Group 3 car by having a different kind of a GT500 spec. When using any kinds of 4-wheel drive vehicle, I'm always have to prefer to be choosing with the Nissan Skyline R32 GTR Nismo 1990 to have a different kind of a GT500 spec version to be identified, known as the Uncia JECS in car number 3. The livery design is being created by Drifter 093 is very good to be based off and differences to become as a similar kind type of the R33 Skyline. But the R32 Skyline looks very good and I kinda love it. Good style, good livery, and good all kinds spec version to be outfitted to have a wide body kit to go with full modified and give it a real car to be embraced to be drive it on the urban highway streets. Hope I'm ready because the 3 tour race in Japan will be ready to go underway after being finishing up on 2 races from Europe. Besides using all of my liveries like UDRS in Sportec, Vision Total Drama, and DreamArt livery style dispenser during this part of the video segment. But it's all about having 5 kinds of specific vehicles to go with style of a GT500 race car. So let's get in there and have the rolling start will be well tested to be having a hard racing compound tires to go basic and go faster on the piece of cake. But the music will turn on. That will be giving a more thrill of an all-wheel drive speed of challenge. So it's up right now and go by lineup overtake to be passing on forward with some few other road cars, and I have a good eye on Ryota Kokobun in a Toyota Alphard Executive Lounge 2018. First lap come in and go by 5th place. Turn 1 is going clear to be proceed overtake on Giorgio Mangalo on the Land Evo 6 Tommy Macadin edition. That's a good start, and 3 more to go. Curve straightaway to be tightened up onto the left. Catching up forward to have Takuma Minasono in the 3rd with using the Subaru Impreza Type R STI 1998. Good pass overtake. Now for Killian Drummond on the 2nd position. Got to watch myself. Just have 1 race without having a scratch of contact. That's my requirement of condition. There's Igor Fraga on the same Alphard Executive Lounge 2018. Just wait, patient, and go on the right turn by the inside. Absolutely marvelous to see the one kind of a GT500 spec livery for the Unisa JECS is good to be awesome. This livery is good to be amazing to be similar look onto the R33 Skyline back from Gran Turismo 2. But it still has some good variation on the R32 Skyline as well. Differences and all kinds of good modification has everything to well seen to be exactly. Now inside to the tunnel, got the full straight and have enough gap distance in about 5.8 seconds on the increase. Final lap, faster lap time in 2 minutes 18.494 seconds. Just look at it go. Almost there to be reaching up in about a top speed of 178 miles per hour. Oh, and by the way, you guys, I just putting up with some low turbocharged RPM might have to give it a moderation and do with some racing spec competition. But if anything else, might have to use the R32 Skyline when entered at a Topolis International Racing Course. Just try to do your best and master the Nismo version to the same Skyline is all about design for the racing competition as a Group A. But don't worry, a little reminder to have some settings to be well equipped as I had to go proceed on race number 4 on penultimate. Okay, now on to sector 4. Almost there on early twilight. Got to get there before reaching up on the sunset. But it actually has some good style of livery for the R32 Skyline, has some good nostalgic ways of creativity and vast majority. But very good for Drift Racer Zero is good to be absolutely indeed to see this design in the later future to be participate in custom race. But I'll have to grab another same R32 Skyline Nismo after I'm finishing up on the weekly challenges. Here comes the finish line, and there you go. Whew. Right at the fumes by crossing the finish line. Good race, and third check mark has now been finishing up by 2 more to go. Just came in first and successful right at the bad time on the evening. A quicker time by 4 minutes, 27.411 seconds, and faster lap time I took by 2 minutes, 8.917 seconds is quicker, faster, and full all-wheel drive. And the 55,500 credit is now being earned, check, and have a 300,000 Gran Turismo credit to go for a second earning of ticket. Or make it like 200,000 by normal average. Now let's do a replay. Got to go by playback position to go by the outside. Okay, zoom in quickly. Now going in by having a captured thumbnail. So there you go. Overtake the Subaru Impreza Type R version 6 and number 5 content replay saved. So it's getting closer for having 2 more races to go, and very good to be using a livery created by Drifter 093 on the R32 Skyline GTR. Titled to be specifically on Nismo, and speaking of which, having a best time to go on American Road Car to be well designed for a GT competition to be entered on race number 4 by the penultimate in American Club Med Cup 700. Take place on the reverse direction, and one more thing that be reminder before entered on Tokyo Expressway in all-wheel drive challenge 600. By the settings, as I just well prepared to have some fully suspension, fully customized on LSD, other parts, including the low RPM to be adding up with the anti-lag system, will be set into week. Just to be earlier or late, if anything else, if I had to do to ramp up the time of essence, is I just really had to keep a good lookout before the next day we'll have to go on midnight. So, time to go and have the STP Tyson livery on the Dodge Viper GTS 2002, same as ever, created by Drifter 093 as a main kind of a good livery to have a good different variation to go color in dark blue and adding up to have some trims of stripes on the rear. And also to have the settings as usual to be putting up to have some options to go carry out by 723.09 performance point and 651 brake horsepower. Adding up to have some air cleaner on the racing air filter, muffler, exhaust manifold in racing type, other parts, and just have to do some purchase parts on low end or high end torque on supercharger. So, this will have to go by having a roll call of GT2 Racing Nostalgia to be having a celebration of the Dodge Viper Festival, and other kinds of American manufacturer brands will be joined all in. But the race number 4 on penultimate will have to take another step of the GT500 race car for only one American racing vehicle is very well to be achieved and success. But just remember back then from Fuji International Speedway on the first race in All Japan GT Championship is very good to be enjoyable for only one part of the test to be embraced and give a much more hard challenge by taking on with some GT500 race cars in Group 3 category and one BMW F1 McLaren race car. So let's do it. So here comes one STP Tyson Dodge Viper to go in the 16th position, and the countdown will begin by 3 seconds to go green. And I'm up, and I'll have to take on with Jose Serrano in the Corvette C8 Stingray and Emily Jones on a GAC Ford Maverick. First turn coming in, just have to be patient and wait, and I see him right now on the C8 Corvette followed by with Emily Jones on the GAC Ford Maverick. Into the tunnel and brake zone on turn 3. Okay, looks like two of them are the most toughest opponents to be racing on high speed ring. Got to go on turn 4, hold down the maintain pace, and stay behind with the Ford Maverick on the tuned version. There we go, crossing the bridge, then go proceed overtake to have turn 5 on sector 3. Now gonna have to go by clear exit on the inside when overtake the Ford Focus RS 2018. 6 more to go, and this livery just for Drifter 093. Okay, gonna have to go switch up the maintain pace. Got to do double overtake on the 2015 Ford Mustang and Corvette C2 1963. Igor Fraga on the Chevy Corvette C7 2014 is now dropped down onto the 5th. Second lap, up I go by 3 more to go. 2 Chevys accompany, and one tuned Dodge Viper in the red with white stripes is now being seen. That's a good overtake, clear, and faster lap time by a minute, 16.509 seconds. Now I'll have to wait for Jose Serrano and Emily Jones. They got the best extra horsepower to choose any available road car during this part of the race on American Clubman Cup 700. I'm always had to be well prepared to have 2 opponents who will have to climb up into the top 3 position. Good turn on number 5. Just have to keep going. Building up gap distance, we'll have to do some more speed, handling, and acceleration by adding up with a patient. Just to see how Jose Serrano did so far out there to climb up, and he's already in by 2nd place when using the 8th generation Corvette. 3rd lap coming in, halfway mark on the 3rd spot will get there in the middle of the race. So I just update the record by a minute, 11.193 seconds. That should be good enough by 8.7 seconds to go up towards 9.1. Back on sector 2. And there you go. Emily Jones on 3rd place. Just put her right in onto the grid session in the list. But all I have to do is going to keep a good smooth sailing to keep that steering under control by the TCS will be stationary to go into 1. I'm always well prepared to have the STP Tyson livery. Is only just for Drifter 093, as I just always been well prepared to have this part of the segment video. So here comes a little bit more decrease to be on a full effect. Looks like Jose Serrano is about to go on quicker offense to get there. 4th lap coming in. Got to defend the position. Have turn 1 to go right back in. Okay, Emily Jones is now finishing up on the dirt lap. She's already in on number 4. That's good. Just to see how 2 toughest drivers will have to take a chance to catch up onto the Dodge Viper GTS 2002 with any kinds of livery, including the STP Tyson Dean variation created by Drifter 093. But very good to have a well-matched base replica variation to be turns out to be a bit more perfect, and very excellent to have a good high value of likes. I'm always like it, and this livery is only just for him. So it's almost there. No sign of incoming weather forecast during the daytime, but it's all safe and clear. Got the review check on the weather radar and pressing on again towards the final lap. This will have to do this all day and race it well to go by 5 races of participation to go for only 1 of the 3 roulette tickets or credit tickets by the possible chances to go with some high valuable earning. But here comes the Trailblazer. Faster lap time update from lap number 4 in about a minute, 9.481 seconds. That'll have to take enough horsepower to get there, and I'll have to go drop the hammer. So going up on high speed to have a good procedure to be finishing up on sector 3, nearly there. Take the 5th turn on the right and keep that counter steering to be worked up by negating on oversteer. Got to keep a good eyes on the clock and watch the new set of the record. It's about to get nearly there. Viewers, this will be doing a faster lap time to go achieve by almost a minute. But so far so close, and I just almost barely had a new set of the record. 4 checkmark has now been set and done, and it's going to be the 3rd round of All Japan GT Championship at Autopolis International Racing Course will be ready to go. Now that's an American GT500 race car ever since from All Japan Grand Touring Car Championship. But not to mention about the 2nd generation Dodge Viper was already been seen to have a same kind of a livery variation to have a fully fledged competition coupe to be similar to the GTSR concept. But almost good enough to have a new set of the lap time record to be finishing up and ends at lap number 4. 1 minute, 9.481 seconds in the total time of 5 minutes, 56.458 seconds in almost 6 minutes. So 4 road cars in GT500 spec version is now being done, and that means only 1 more to go, and that will have to take a different kind of a GT500 race car to go for a different Group 3 race car from the United Kingdom. But clean race bonus, clear as ever, 97,500 credits will go down to have a single replay to go adding up by a content. Got to choose 1 position at a time. Now takes place at turn 3 and 4. Got to go capture thumbnail image, and looks like there you have it. Okay folks, it's time to go for round 3 at Autopolis International Racing Course for the All Japan GT Championship is about to go underway. 4 races on road cars is now being done. 2 races on Japan is about to be finishing up clear, but only 1 more to go. But this time, a Group 3 race car is about to be choosing to have a different kind of a GT500 spec version to be represented and have a different one for the United Kingdom. I'm talking about the McLaren F1 GTR-BMW 1995, the only kind of a Group 3 race car to be debuted back from 1995 of the 24 Hours of Le Mans, and of course to have a lark-themed livery variation in car number 60. The livery design was created by Classic Driver 1, but you might have to check it out with this livery, and this is a very good base replica variation. Is now being designed for competition in All Japan Grand Touring Car Championship in the mid-1990s. So it's about to go set and have one thing to have a reminder, turbocharged RPM to go available to have a 600 horsepower to go adding up between the medium or high turbocharged RPM. But make sure that you have to go carry out to have 774 brake horsepower or over to be exactly in 775 horsepower when using the high turbocharged RPM. Better be ready and get yourself prepared to face up with the BMW McLaren F1 GTR 1997 will be your opponent for race number 3 at Autopolis International Racing Course. We'll give it all we got. This will be the moment, and I'll have to get myself to have a real-life base replica variation to have Classic Driver 1 design is all about having kinds of different liveries to go with base replica and just give a good thumbs up to have a double like. Let's have a good check, and looks like Kei Mizuno is on the first position. Okay, this could be a very tough one, but there's no turning back. I just really have to keep racing well, stay clean, and go by achieve of accomplish.